Hi, welcome to my very professional studio. Welcome back. We are reading from the Catholic Bible for Children. It's probably backwards for you, but that's okay because I'm going to read the words for you. Now, when we last spoke, the Moses and friends were running through the desert. They got to the Red Sea. God said, "Let the seas part." The seas parted. Moses and friends went in. And then, of course, um, the Egyptians got swallowed up into the Red Sea because God can't just end slavery. He has to like have a crazy car chase through the desert and then a nice dramatic swallowing up of the Egyptians, right? So the Israelites are on their way. They're getting out of there. And now we are on to the chapter of the commandments. Just here's some pictures. Just always like to show the pictures because it's a children's book. Kids are always wanting to know. Ooh, that looks like a golden calf. Well, let's read this story. Okay, the commandments, and I'll give you a little summary after, and hopefully it'll give us a little thing you can skip to if you don't want to hear the story of the commandments. Totally understandable. You don't need to listen. We'll have a discussion after. The commandments. 3 months after the people of Israel had left Egypt, they entered the Sinai desert. They camped in front of a high mountain there. Moses climbed up that mountain by himself so that he could draw near to the Lord. God said to him, "Have my people purify themselves and pray. 3 days from now, I will show them my power and give them my law." Some more. He's being dramatic again. It's super fun. This is what Moses ordered. On the third day, while the Israelites were praying, there was the roar of thunder and lightning lit up the skies. A column of blazing fire appeared on the mountain peak. Moses approached the mountain with a group of young men led by Joshua. When they reached it, he bravely trusted in God's promise and climbed it alone. When Moses had been on the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights, okay, God spoke with him in a forceful voice. He gave Moses his law, writing his 10 commandments on 2 stone tablets. These are the commandments. Again, little dramatic, God. These are the commandments. I am the Lord your God. You shall not, excuse me. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have other gods but me. You shall not take my name in vain. You shall keep holy the Lord's day. Honor your father and mother. You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. You shall not covet your neighbor's goods. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. Even while Moses was speaking with God and receiving his law, something very bad was happening in the Israelite camp. Growing tired of waiting for Moses, the Israelites came up to Aaron, who was in charge of them while Moses was gone, and they told him, "Moses is not going to come back. The God he told us about is nowhere to be seen. We need a God who can lead us on our way. Aaron, you have to give us another God." Aaron was afraid of them, so he did what they told him to do. He had them gather all of the gold that the Egyptians had given them. He melted it and formed a calf out of it. That's impressive. The people surrounded their idol, dancing and singing and praying, bowing down in adoration before it. While Moses was on his way down from the mountain, he heard singing. He asked Joshua, who had been waiting for him, "Who is shouting and singing like that?" He soon saw what was happening and, angered by what he saw, threw the 2 tablets of the law on the ground. He entered the camp and asked Aaron, "What have you done? Why did you bring God's anger down upon us?" Aaron tried to explain why he had done it, but Moses would not listen to him. He cried out, "Those who are for the Lord, come here." The men of the tribe of Levi ran over to him, and he ordered them, "Arm yourselves and go out into the camp. Whoever worshipped the idol and offended God must pay with his life." They did this. Wow. Sorry, I haven't read this story in a while. They did this, killing those who worshipped the idol. This is how Moses calmed the anger of God. He climbed up Mount Sinai a third time, and the Lord gave him 2 more tablets upon which were written the commandments. When Moses came back, he ordered that the tablets of the law be put in an ark made out of wood that had been covered with the finest gold. the ark was called the Ark of the Covenant. Look at the pictures again. So this is Moses. That's Moses up there chatting with God. We've got, of course, now here's our, they're all singing and dancing to the golden calf that they built very quickly. This is Moses. He's very mad. He's throwing the tablets. Broken. And here they go, about to go kill everybody that was worshiping the calf. Yeah, I don't see any problems with the story. Again, a lot of what we're learning in the Old Testament, right, is this is a story from the Old Testament, is that God is very, very dramatic, so dramatic always. Really likes to, right, like a lot of like pomp and circumstance, right, like thunder, lightning. Moses has to go up to the top of the mountain so he can get some rules written down. And he gets the rules, and there's only 10. That's nice, very simple. And God, I guess, just uses the latest technology of the day. And so he's got it scratched out into the tablets, into stone. I don't know. You're God. Again, all knowing, I would think that maybe you could use more advanced technology, but that's okay. That's okay. Maybe we're just, catering to the people that you're talking to. We don't want to blow their minds with iPhones or whatever. So, of course, right? Moses is gone for so long, 40 whole days, right? A full month and 10 days. And in that time, this is honestly the part that I find most spectacular, is that they melted all of the gold and built that very fancy golden calf in less than 40 days, right? Because first Moses left and then they got bored and then they built the calf. So this is like a quick calf. They made this statue very quickly. And I don't know what the technology was at that point, but like if I was going to make a golden statue of a calf, that would take me a lot of time. I think much more time than they had, but great. This is great. I don't know. They're doing a lot of handiwork at this time. So they build a golden calf. They're like, finally, we have a God that we can really feel close to. They sing and dance around the gold statue that they've made, which I guess they're worshiping. And here in the Catholic Children's Bible, they're not really giving you any indicator of what this golden calf is. Does it represent a pagan god, perhaps, or were they just interested in the gold? I don't know. Right? Not a lot of background information. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's in the big Bible, the Bible for big boys. Maybe it's in there. But either way, dancing, singing around the golden calf that they made very quickly. If anything's a miracle, I think how quickly they built that calf, that's miraculous. And then Moses comes down. He's very mad, throws down the tablets, has a little hissy fit, is like, what? I can't believe you would do that. And I guess he's like, God's going to be very mad. God doesn't say he's very mad in this story. Maybe he does in the other book. It doesn't say he's very mad, but Moses is like, dude, God's going to be so mad. And he throws the tablets and he's like, you gotta like kill these guys. And so they kill all the guys who are dancing around the calf, because like, that's definitely bad, right? If you're like on our scale of sins, definitely dancing around a gold statue has got to be top. Of all of the stories that we've heard so far, dancing around a gold statue, holy moly, kill those guys, right? Yeah, so they kill him. Great, end of story. What'd you learn from that? What's your takeaway from this story? Anything? I do want to say, timeline wise, like if you're watching this later, down the road, this is what are we at? May 12th. We're 2026. Just saying, there was just a golden statue of Trump erected in one of his Mar-a-Lago, I think. I don't know. I'm not really following it, but I just think, I mean, it's funny that we're reading this story and that was happening the other day. It was just being dedicated the other day. Also, I wonder how long it took to make the golden Trump statue. Was that as miraculous? Huh, Trump? How miraculous was your statue? Okay, I'll see you in the next story. Our next tale in our book, we read about crossing the Jordan. That's not something that I knew much about. And then we have Jericho, and that's pretty exciting. So we'll get to those next time. See you very soon.